this special holiday edition of Neighborhood Views What's New Malden. Get ready for the holiday season with a special guest to talk about New England's colder months. Go behind the scenes of MATV's annual meeting and revisit some of our favorite segments from the past year, highlighting Malden's growing foodie scene. What's new, Malden? Here are your co-hosts Sharon Filia and Sam Baltrusis from MATV's Neighborhood View.
Welcome to the special holiday edition of What's New Malden. My name is Sam Baltrusis. I'm the coordinator of MATV's Neighborhood View. Joining me, of course, is my lovely co-host Sharon Filia.
Hey, Sam.
Sharon and I just had a pretty amazing weekend doing Rise of the Jack-o'-lanterns.
We did. There were 5,000 pumpkins, and they were carved in all these wonderful motifs, Star Wars, even Donald and Hillary. We saw they were there as well, and it was wonderful. The kids had a great time. The parents had a great time. And we talked so much about pumpkins. So I'm a little hoarse. How about you, Sam?
I'm doing okay, but I actually hope you don't have any flashbacks to this weekend.
I do. I've never used the mallet so much. Why don't you explain what we did?
Yeah, so basically this is not a real pumpkin, but we had a real pumpkin that we worked with. There was a trick when I was a kid. I cut my fingers, so I started using cookie cutters, use a sharpen on the pumpkin, and you use a mallet, you tap it into the pumpkin. And Sharon and I did this. Kids were getting into it. Parents loved it.
They were. And I tell you, some of the younger children, between 1 and 2 years old, got quite aggressive. I had to kind of, pull back a little bit and say, wait a minute. And the parents were actually surprised. But it was a great hack, a very safe hack for the children. The parents had a great time. The kids had a great time. The staff was wonderful. They were so embracing to us. And it was a very successful event.
So my trick was to make sure that you were safe, make sure that the kids we interacted with were safe. And so this whole cookie cutter idea was a wonderful idea.
It was.
And so you and I are going to probably maybe next year do the whole Boo Hack kit, have a little kits available for people to do it themselves.
That sounds great. And as you mentioned, next year, the Rise is coming back to do another event. So they're definitely coming back, and they asked us to come back again. So that should be a great time.
So we're getting into the holiday season. There's a lot of issues that come up. There's a lot of things that are great, like shopping, getting ready for Thanksgiving, and then of course there's Christmas too. But there's a whole community that we sometimes overlook, which is the homeless community.
Yes, the homeless community, unfortunately, is like, as you said, very, very largely overlooked. We have some guests who work with them, Miss Aisha Washington, who do wonderful work with the homeless to help them to bring them back into the mainstream community, giving them faith and hope, which is very important.
And so when we are going forward, we have to think about that's getting colder.
Yes.
And I'm talking to a gentleman who is working with a mobile outreach group, and they actually go out and work with the homeless communities in Malden and Everett and other communities in the area. So it's fantastic that community is being looked after.
It is, and it's equally amazing that there are people who feel this calling to do this type of work. So many of us get kind of caught up in our own lives, and there are these wonderful, wonderful people who reach back to help others.
I was the former editor of Spare Change News, so having worked with the homeless population, I see that it's growing. The homelessness, especially family homelessness in the Malden area, is a huge issue. So I'm glad we're talking about that today.
Indeed, and I don't think that you know this, but I used to serve dinners to the homeless down in Government Center. And what struck me was the wide range, old, young, different ethnic groups, graduate students, PhD candidates. Anyone can be homeless, anyone.
We are 1 to 2 paychecks away. So we went to the annual meeting at Malden Access TV's annual meeting. It was fantastic.
That was fun. Everyone had a great time. And the theme was, It's a Wonderful Life.
And so we're going to roll a clip from behind the scenes at the annual meeting.
Hi, this is Sharon Filia here with MATV's Neighborhood View. We're here at MATV's annual meeting. It's a fun evening, and the theme of the evening is It's a Wonderful Life. What would Malden be without MATV? Let's take a look. Here I am now with Miss Osa Schwab. What's so important about this beautiful young lady is that she's receiving the MATV Award for Best Outstanding Program.
New program.
Osa Schwab, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Now, what's interesting, Osa, is that you did not go to school for journalism. How did you learn about production and writing and producing?
Oh, I was born with innate skill. No, just kidding. No, actually, I learned all of that through MATV, through the Neighborhood View citizen journalism class, and then actually hands-on. I just went in there, and people at the staff were very kind to help me through various questions. Sam, of course, Baltrusis, was always there to help me. So really, it was a community effort.
Well, you are a prime example of how important MATV is. They brought out this innate talent in you that maybe you would have never recognized had you not taken the courses here.
You are so right. In fact, that's one of the things I'm going to mention. I feel like MATV is sort of like this canvas that allows you to paint opportunities and your dreams. And my dream has been to, have an impact by drawing out the stories of people and helping those stories sort of light a fire in someone else. So it's really amazing, and I'm so grateful for MATV and Neighborhood View. Without that, I wouldn't be doing this. No way.
That's so amazing. Here with me now is Mr. John Prudent, a former volunteer at MATV, a graduate of Salem State University,
Correct.
And now working at Saugus Access Television. So John, tell us, what would your life have been without MATV?
Well, I guess the best way for me to sum that up is answering it with what it's done for me. Through MATV, I feel like I've grown artistically, professionally. I've learned a lot from them, especially about like TV production and just like about the community surrounding in general. So what would it be like? Pretty boring, I would say.
And now here I am with Mr. Paul Donato, the state rep for both Medford and Malden for the last 16 years. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for inviting us. This is a great opportunity for Malden Cable to thank those who volunteer constantly for the cable program throughout the city of Malden. Cablevision is so important to the people of Malden because it gives them access, not only access to what's going on in their government, in their school committee, but throughout the community as well. But just as important, it gives people like yourself the opportunity to get onto cable, to express what you do, and make yourself look as good. I hope you can get me to look that good too.
You look fine.
But it gives people who want to have the opportunity to do something in the community and use the Access TV for that purpose. It's such a wonderful opportunity for the public, not only to be educated, but an opportunity for them to come join MATV, find out what it's all about, get involved in the program, and then if you have any talent, even if you don't, get on.
Even if you don't.
Yeah, get on Malden TV and express yourself, whether it be political, whether it be humorous, or whether it be that you have some kind of musical instrument that you want to play.
Very. Here we are now with Miss Haley Howe, the Educational Access Coordinator for MATV, who always brings such a bright light and a bright smile every time we see her. Haley, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So how much work has it been coordinating this MATV annual dinner, It's a Wonderful Life?
Well, it's definitely a collaboration between all the staff members and our volunteers. It's truly a teamwork. It has been going on, the preparation work for weeks, I would say. And it feels like last year's annual meeting just ended and then we started planning for the next one. So it feels like we're always planning for the next event, but it's always exciting to do something for our community. These events bring people together, so it's our pleasure to work together to bring these to our community. Yeah.
That's great. I'm always amazed at your relentless work ethic. This woman is always working. Every time I see her, she's typing, working.
I'm typing.
So tell us, Haley, what would your life be without MATV?
I would be jobless to start.
We won't think about that. But
Yeah, so I have been at MATV for over 8 years. That has been a long time. It's my first job after school, so it means a lot to be able to come here to this community and work here, which is a job that I love. I definitely feel passion about what I do, which is so important to everyone, I think. You know, if you get to do what you love and what you're passionate about, it doesn't feel quite like a job. You know, I feel like all the people that I work with is my family, which is so nice to have. Yeah, so
I am with Erin Leibowitz, reporter for the Malden Observer and a relatively new transplant, a graduate of Tufts University, and also served on the Tufts Daily newspaper. So we welcome you to MATV's annual dinner. And being relatively new, and since you've been working at the Malden Observer, how has your introduction to the Malden community been?
Well, I'm very new. I'm just transitioning from the Melrose Free Press to the Malden Observer. I'm really excited to be in Malden, to get to meet everyone. I covered an event in Malden at the Senior Center a few weeks ago. It was great. It was a really interesting dialogue among residents. And the sense I get of Malden is that people are really passionate about their community. They want to make it better. And it's also deeply rooted in tradition as well. So there are things I like about Malden a lot already.
Right, especially. Hi, this is Sharon Filio for MATV's Neighborhood View. Yes, it's a wonderful life. We had a great evening here at the MATV annual dinner here at Anthony's of Malden. We got to see a little film of It's a Wonderful Life produced by our own MATV staff. Great fun, and we hope to do it again next year.
Welcome back to What's New Malden.
Joining us now is Richard Mattis Hale, the Housing Resource Coordinator with ABCD.
He works with ABCD, so you work with the homeless population.
Yes.
And how did you get involved with ABCD?
I retired from the Department of Mental Health, and I was working with the homeless population in Boston. And a friend of mine told me about ABCD branching out here into the Malden area, and they had a homeless population which needed to be addressed. So here I am.
I think it's fantastic what you're doing, especially because this when you go outside of Boston, there's not a focus on Malden and Everett and the other communities. Homelessness exists out here as well.
Absolutely, it does. There's a homeless population right here in Malden Center, anywhere around City Hall, up down here towards Main Street off Pleasant. So there are a lot of homeless people which have been identified, which we're really trying to work with, but they're out there.
So the program that so it's a mobile homeless unit that goes out and does work with the community.
Right. The outreach team is two gentlemen. The great thing about this is one speaks Haitian Creole and the other speaks Spanish. So we're able to meet the needs of those two particular groups of individuals who speak Spanish and Haitian Creole. And so we have a van, and the van goes out into the community. We have supplies on the van, socks, underwear, t-shirts, some toiletries, and we meet the folks where they are. So whatever needs, whatever issues, whatever things that come up, that team tries to address.
What I think is fantastic is that because there is such a focus on Boston that you're reaching out to the Malden community. So you've been in operation for 6 months now, right?
Yes.
And are you finding that the population is bigger than you were expecting?
Yes, it's a little surprising that, when you see these what I call bedroom communities, that there actually exists homeless folks who are on the streets. So it's a bit surprising, but I'm not surprised.
Me too. And you'll see there were a lot of it in hiding. A lot of people were in hiding as opposed to, and also there was large percentage of homeless families in Malden in this area as well.
Yes, we have a lot of homeless families who, because whatever reason, landlords are not renewing leases, people are being evicted because they no longer can afford the rents. So what happens is they get evicted and they land on ABCD's doorsteps, and where we do applications for emergency shelter placements.
I think it's fantastic that you guys are doing this work. And so there's new locations in Malden, correct? There was a new office in Malden?
Yes, we moved out of 110 Pleasant Street.
Right.
City Hall took over the building, so we became homeless for a little while. And we went over to share a space with Fuel, which is at 18 Dartmouth Street.
Okay.
And now we have our location at 6 Pleasant Street, and we're on the 6th floor in Suite 601.
So 6 Pleasant Street. So thank you so much for doing the work that you're doing. We're going to roll a clip of another fine organization in Malden. It's Bread of Life.
The meals program, even though it's one of the places where we have these days the least amount of food of all of our programs, yet it still is the heart and soul because it brought many of you in, and it really is that neighbor helping neighbor where you actually can sit down and have a meal, get to know people over the course of weeks and months and years. And it's a wonderful relationships that are developed, and people really being able to see the other person on the other side of the table. We always encourage people when you're cooking, go out in the dining hall, sit down with guests. And I know a lot of you do that, and you take special care of the guests and are interested in their lives, the people that come to our evening meals. So this program has undergone a recent convulsion. Some of you know that because we've been calling you and emailing you. But we learned in the last week of March that we were going to have to leave our longtime home of St. Paul's, where we have been since the beginning, and we will no longer be serving there as of the end of this month. So that's been hard psychologically, emotionally, and everybody hates change. I hate change. I don't know about you. I hate change. But I have to thank our board of directors. We have 12 members on our board, and talk about a committed, hardworking group of people. They are truly amazing because they stepped up to the plate, coordinated by and really mobilized by our board president, Andrew. And started meeting every week. We all started investigating sites, and they've been coming to the office and to St. Paul's, cleaning, moving, throwing away, organizing work parties. It's just really impressive and amazing that they all have lives and work and grandkids, and yet they're taking this time. So I just want to thank our board for doing so much. It's been tremendous. And of course, the wonderful news is that we have identified a new site, and we will be, as of June 1st, with Cindy Robillard's group from Good Shepherd in Malden. We will now be at Wednesdays and Thursdays at the American Legion.
Here with me now is Aisha Washington, the operations manager for ABCD, Action for Boston Community Development. Aisha, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, gosh, you do such great work. Now, you've been with ABCD for 4 years,
Yes.
and part of the focus of ABCD is this winter program. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Sure. We have a number of winter programs. So our mission is to help people lift themselves out of poverty. So we address their need for the day as well as helping them in the long term to eventually, hopefully, not need us anymore. So our big one now that just started today is fuel assistance. So they'll be taking applications starting from today, November 1st, all the way through April. And with that program, ABCD assists with paying your primary heating utility. And that doesn't matter if it's electric, gas, oil, we'll help pay it. And that's kind of the gateway to all of the other energy programs. So once you are on fuel assistance, you're also eligible for weatherization assistance, which can help save up to 25% on your utility bills.
That's amazing.
Yes.
You mentioned when we were talking a little bit earlier that there's no real profile for a homeless person or a family, and that you're often interested. It's very interesting, the backstories of how people come to be homeless, but I think it's important for people to understand that anyone can become homeless. And so your organization helps to facilitate or help provide a conduit to help them kind of navigate their way through these bureaucratic waters to get assistance.
Yeah.
So do you have any success stories, real short, that you can share with us?
Yes. So among our other services, one of our big ones is immigration assistance. So we help walk people through the process of becoming a U.S. citizen. And actually our very first client out of Malden just got her citizenship very recently. So.
And wasn't there a big ceremony recently at the library here in Malden, if I remember correctly?
Yes.
Okay. I hear that those ceremonies are very, very emotional and moving because the new citizens have come through such a process. You're doing such great work, you and your staff at ABCD. So is there anything else that you'd like to tell us about what your organization does?
Yes. So we're starting our winter campaign right now, which is helping families with winter clothing, food, and holiday assistance during this time of year. So one of our sites in Boston always holds a huge clothing drive, which they would love to have donations for. Our site here in Malden will be giving holiday toys to kids, and we're accepting donations for that.
Okay.
And we're also taking a list for Thanksgiving turkeys as well.
Okay, so if people want to donate to ABCD, where should they bring toys and or turkeys? What is your physical address where they should bring them to?
11 Dartmouth Street, Suite 104.
Okay, and if they want to donate coats, they have to bring them to the Boston facility. Do you know the address for that, or can they find that online?
They can find it online, but they're also on Warren Street in Roxbury, and if all else fails, they can bring it to me at 11 Dartmouth, and I'll make sure they'll get it.
Well, that sounds great. Aisha, thank you so much for joining us. You're doing great work. Keep it up. It's so needed. Homelessness is a real, real concern because it affects all of us. So now we're going to cut to, since this is our last show, our finale, this is my favorite restaurant, Susaku Bistro, and we're going to cut to a clip right now.
Hi, I'm Sharon Philyaw here for MATV's Neighborhood View in front of Susaku Bistro, a Japanese fusion restaurant located here at 166 Eastern Avenue in Malden. Let's go on inside and see what's happening. Hi, this is Sharon Philyaw from MATV's Neighborhood View here with Mr. Louis Lai, one of the 3 owners of Susaku Bistro here at 166 Eastern Avenue in Malden. So tell us, Louis, how did you get started with this restaurant?
Well, I have a couple of friends that I got into the restaurant business with because they've been in the restaurant business for years. I mean, you're talking about like 20 plus years. And the main chef that we have is actually a executive chef from Fugagyu, the Japanese restaurant there.
Yes, I've heard of that.
That's right.
And didn't you mention that there's a dish named after your chef, correct?
We do. It's called the Boki bun. Basically, it's a char siu pork bun. Okay, and it's marinated with his special sauce. So.
Oh, that sounds delicious. So, Louis, so you're part of the Malden Reads, Malden Eats program. What book are we looking at for this program?
Well, they actually dropped off The Martian from Andy over here.
Okay, and you have a dinner scheduled. When is that scheduled for?
That's on Tuesday, April 19th.
Okay, and what type of food are you going to have at this function?
We're going to have a fixed menu, most likely a 3-course menu, and then hopefully everybody will enjoy it, and they're going to have the little discussion with the book. So.
Oh, that's great. I'm sure everyone will have a great time. Let's talk a little bit about the decor of your beautiful restaurant. These tables are amazing. Sure. How did this come to be? How did you and your partners come to discuss the decor and what you were going to have involved?
Sure. We actually went online and we shopped around, for wooden tables that had the custom logo on there because, this is the first of, many to come, hopefully for the Susaku Bistro.
And also, you have a few signature dishes, don't you?
That's right. Our most popular dish is a sushi pizza. So unlike traditional pizza, which is served on bread, this is actually seaweed pressed with rice, deep fry, and then the topping goes on top. It's oven baked and then torched.
And now
So
another important aspect of your restaurant are the whiskeys.
both the chef and my other partner, Aiden, they're from Taiwan, and recently the Cavalan from Taiwan was just voted the #1 whiskey in the world.
Welcome back to the special holiday edition of What's New Malden. Sharon, this has been an amazing show.
It was. We spoke to some really great people who do great work.
Yeah.
We talked about Rise of the Jack-o'-lantern, the event that we both participated in. It was a lot of fun.
So something that you may not know, so our show, What's New, for October was picked up by 27 stations.
Oh my, that's amazing. That's wonderful. But the show is so much fun. We have such a great time. Hopefully other people can kind of feel that energy from it and also enjoy it as well.
Yeah, so when it coming up to so looking back on this past year, what are some of your, so you like Susaku Bistro?
I love Susaku Bistro, Hoff's Bakery, which is a favorite of yours, because I love pastry. Oh my gosh, I could eat that instead of dinner. It is so good.
Yeah, so Hoff's Bakery is actually a good idea for Thanksgiving and for Christmas. They have really good pies. We had the little small tarts, and Sharon was in like a sugar coma. We were bowling and she was eating it.
It was so good, and the way they make it is so rich. It's delicious. I can't even tell you. And they have so many different varieties to choose from. They have the 4-part tarts, they have cakes, they have everything there. So if you make your way down there, they have the walk-in area where you can just go in and purchase it right there. They should have coffee in there too, but they don't, not yet. But just a wonderful facility.
I have a holiday gift idea myself. So I write ghost books for a living, as we talk about every episode.
Yes.
But I'm doing a special gift box. So you get 2 of my books and then other goodies in the box as well.
Ooh.
And it's called Boo Box Books.
I want one.
I'm going to give you one.
Okay.
And that'll be your special gift, and it'll be awesome.
Aww.
Actually, ghost books are, it's a tradition to read ghost books on Christmas Eve.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, people have given me so much feedback on your books and the paranormal. They're really, really into it. Really into it.
Yeah, so for more information, go to Boo Box Books, and I'll have some more information on neighborhoodview.org. Sharon, I want to wish you happy holidays.
Same to you. I'll be eating a lot. What about you?
I'm going to be eating a lot too, and I may want to reach out to some of the communities like Bread of Life to work with the homeless community, because that's really important to me.
It really is. It's so important to give back. That's why talking to Aisha and Richard, it was wonderful, because we see these people who are so committed to helping those who perhaps need a little help and can't help themselves.
So I'm proud of our journey with What's New, and hopefully we'll see us again next year.
Yeah.
Happy holidays.
See you later.
Hi, this is Sharon Filliar here for MATV's Neighborhood View here at Hoff's Bakery, located at 35 Green Street right here in Malden. I don't know about you, but I love pastry. So we're next going to speak to David and Nicole Fertura about their beautiful, newly refurbished bakery. Hi, this is Sharon Filliar for MATV's Neighborhood View here with Nicole and David Fertura. Thank you so much for joining us. So Nicole, you were originally in Medford, and from there you came to Malden. Why?
So we originally started in Medford and Mystic Ave 33 years ago. We upgraded to a larger facility in Wellington, and then we outgrew that, so we're here. This is 3 times the size, and Malden was very accepting and helping to us and getting us this facility and getting us everything we needed to be able to refurbish this and make it what we needed.
That's amazing. Now, 33 years. Now, you don't look too much older than 33 years. You didn't found the company. Who founded this company?
No, we did not. That was the big guy that founded it 33 years ago, my father, Vincent. And everything that we have here is a direct vision of his. We couldn't be more proud to see how far we have come from 1,100 square feet to 100,000 square feet in Malden. It's been an incredible transformation.
So tell us, how is Hoff's Bakery going to put the icing on the cake here? What are the specialty items that people you find most enjoy?
Sure. So we're mostly a wholesale bakery, so a lot of people know our products from their supermarkets, hotels, and restaurants. But now they can come into our cash and carry retail and pick up a 7-inch cake. And we've actually noticed that Malden customers really like smaller sizes. So we've started selling 4-packs. So we have 4 packs of our tarts, 4 packs of our squares. They're the perfect size if they're having a dinner party or a cookout.
So what cake is the best seller that you see here in the retail location?
People love tiramisu, and you can't go wrong with chocolate.
Oh, definitely. What's your favorite?
We have a chocolate truffle bomb. It's a 7-inch chocolate truffle bomb. It originated here.